Okay, I just wanted to talk about a podcast I recorded a week or so ago called How to Be Average. And strictly sarcasm. Strictly sarcasm. But I've coached now for 16 or so years, small businesses, especially HVAC, plumbing, electrical, those types of businesses. And unfortunately, over 50% that I've coached or attempted to coach have been average. And I've tried to raise the bar. A lot of times I'll start the first week of coaching and they quit because they don't want their bar raised, even though we went over everything prior to the coaching sessions. This is how it's going to be. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to go over this. We're going to go over that. And they got into the first week, and even though they had wrote down 3 things they wanted to change, 3 things they wanted to work on, they just couldn't do it. It was over. It was too much for them because they were so average or below average that they just could not comprehend raising their bar. And it's so sad, because I could have helped them and I could have helped taken them to the next level, whatever that level would be. So I just wanted to tell you that I have talked to a couple people lately, and it just reminded me of how average most companies are, and I had to record that podcast. Now, I've gotten some good feedback from you guys of you got a good laugh out of it. Those that are raising their bar and wanting to be better and wanting to get to that level knew what I was talking about. You know, I just hope someone wasn't watching it going, that's me. Yes, he's telling me exactly what I need to do. Because it was quite the opposite of that. But I just wanted to throw that in. So, I just wanted to let you know about that, basically. And today we're going to be talking about something more serious. The topic for today is thankful thinking, and it's basically successful strategies for life and business. And I wanted to kick off today real quickly on how thankful I am to have this podcast. I've told you before, I don't make any money off this podcast yet. And we're now getting thousands of viewers and listeners, and it's pretty cool. I'm getting some good feedback. It took me a while. I think we're on 100 in the high 160s, and but I just enjoy doing it. My calling has always been to help others and help them get to the next level, and also, most importantly, help them think differently. We're so bombarded with negativity. We're so bombarded with the world way of doing things. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's not the right way. Sometimes it's get all you can and don't worry about your employees and don't worry about your customers. And that's quite the opposite of what I teach and preach. But I am thankful. I'm thankful for you guys watching this, listening to this. I really hope it helps take you to the next level. And life's too short. I'm on my second chance of life because I had a quintuple bypass about 2.5 years ago, and I got a second chance to live. So I am more passionate today than I was 2.5 years ago because of the opportunity I've been given to live. And life can be and is very short. And I've also told you before, this is the clean version. Clean version means you're not going to hear any F-bombs, you're not going to hear any GDs, and you're not going to hear anything else. Because years ago, someone challenged me and said, you lack vocabulary because all you do is say F, GD, and everything else. So that got to me more than anything. Now, that was before I accepted Jesus in my heart and life, and I would definitely drop thousands of F-bombs probably per day. So people talk like that. They just don't realize they're lacking vocabulary. Okay? But I also want to thank God for having Jesus knock on my heart one day. So I'm going to put this little picture up there, powerful picture, and I use it a lot to witness to people. But Jesus doesn't just knock on any heart. God has a plan. You've got to be in the right place. You've got to be in the right place. Your heart has to be in the right place for the Holy Spirit to actually convict you and talk to you, not in an audible voice or anything, but to impress on you that you need to change your life. You need to come to Jesus and let him change your life. But you can see this picture that I'm going to put up here, and it is just an extremely powerful picture. But that is Jesus, and he is, there's a couple things about this picture I want you to see. The only light is radiating from this, in this picture, is from Jesus. There is no other light. If you look in the little hole of the door, it's extremely dark. That represented my life before I came to Christ. It was very dark. I was depressed. I was living all for me. I was drinking a lot. I was doing some drugs, anything to, still a hard worker, worked 2 jobs, did all that stuff. But I was miserable. And so the only light came from Jesus. And you can also see in that picture that Jesus knocks. He doesn't break down the door. He doesn't bang on it. He's gently knocking, and he knocked on my door. And you also see in that picture, there is no handle on the outside. And the only handle is on the inside. So I had to turn the knob and open the door and let Jesus in. You can also see that there's a lot of weeds, and weeds in this picture represented sins in my life. That was all around my house. It was in my house. It was around my house. And the weeds and the thorns represented the sin in my life. And when Jesus came in, a lot of people say, well, when I get cleaned up, I'll look for Jesus. But it actually works the opposite way. He's not looking for you to get cleaned up. He wants to come into your heart and your life, and then he'll clean you up. And he cleaned me up. And I can tell you this, that I drank a lot. I was an alcoholic, young alcoholic. I drank for one reason, and that was to get intoxicated. And even after I became a Christian, I walked into my favorite bar. I ordered my favorite beer in a nice cold bottle on a hot day. And I took a big drink out of it, and it tasted like crap. And I sat it down on the bar. And I walked out, and I never drank another beer or alcohol or adult beverage again. And that's been 36 years, going on 36 years. And I dropped cigarettes after that. Boy, that was hard. That was hard. I was 2-pack a day and 3-pack a day when I drank. And that was hard. That was tough. But I did, because Jesus helped me. And he took away my language and gave me a better language. And started going to church. See, you don't have to start going to church before you become a Christian. Just become a Christian. Just look into it. Ask God to come into your life, and he'll change you. You don't have to change. He'll change you better than you could ever possibly change yourself. But I just want to thank God for doing that for me. It changed my life. It's changed once I got married and had kids. It changed that, because if I wouldn't have, we'd be divorced and we'd have a separated, broken family. I could tell you that for sure. And I wouldn't have owned a business, because it wouldn't have worked. And If it would have been the average business like I talked about the other day. So anyway, boy, that's a powerful picture, and you've got it now to look at anytime you want. So thankful thinking, successful strategies for life and business. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Okay, welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we discuss steps to successful entrepreneurship, how to take your business to new heights if you want it to go there, and ultimately follow your dreams. Thankful thinking. Now, I've got 8 bullet points today on the importance of gratitude in business and life. And I hope this energizes you. I hope it makes you think differently. So, number 1 is when you have thankful thinking, it boosts morale and motivation. And what I mean by that is gratitude elevates a spirit for the entire team. When you're thankful and you're thanking your team, and often, and just a quick example, not to put me up on a pedestal whatsoever, but this is how we do things, and this is how we've done things for years. But Ohio doesn't get very much hot weather. And thank God we got some hot weather. And it's been in the 90s. We had more 90-degree days in a row plus than we've had in years. And I think we had 7 90-plus degree days, and some of them were 96 and 97. Well, you can imagine. The first 2 weeks of June was extremely mild, 60, 65, 70 degrees. June is normally our record-breaking month. Wasn't taken off too well. But then we got this streak of 90-plus weather. We planned for it. We had huddles. We planned the team. We prepped them for this because we haven't had it in a while. And when you go from this to this, you've got to prep people or you're going to be disappointed and people will quit and everything else. It becomes a mess. So many companies don't prep enough. But we went out and we bought $200 worth of Gatorades. We bought $200. In the total $200. It came with healthy snacks, things to keep you hydrated, all those types of things. And we delivered them. If the guys weren't coming into the office, we delivered them to them. And one guy actually wrote an email and he copied everybody, which I thank you, Scott, if you're listening, because that was powerful. Text or email you sent saying that you'd been in the industry for 30 years, worked for 5 other companies, and no one had ever done that before. And you've been with us for a while, but you haven't seen that because we haven't had any hot weather. All right? But that was powerful. And we take care of people. And in the office, we had to cut back on lunches. This is what we do here because we prep and plan for a very short window of hot weather. If you're in Las Vegas or Florida or Arizona, you're used to this. We're not used to this. So we get a very small window. And we have to make hay while the sun shines out and before it rains. I know I have a farm property, and I sub it out to a hay farmer, and he's got to cut that hay and bale it at the right time before it rains, because if it rains, it's shot after he cuts it. In the office, they had to shorten their lunches or not even take one some days. We were so busy taking calls that 2 days, I said, Wednesday and Friday, I'm buying lunch. I bought Subway Wednesday. I bought Hothead Burrito Friday. For everybody who was in this building during those times got fed. And everybody appreciated that. But I said, thank you. Thank you guys for all you do, your hard work, your effort. Number 2, It strengthens relationships. Thankful thinking strengthens relationships. It shows appreciation. It builds bonds, strong bonds, with coworkers, like I said, suppliers, any partners you might have, and customers, which leads to more productive and enduring collaborations, which is important. And now, number 3, it enhances leadership qualities. I'm all about becoming a stronger leader. Leadership, everything falls on leadership. John Maxwell quote, everything falls on leadership. And if you can enhance your leadership quality by expressing gratitude and being approachable and caring, so many companies use the word care, but they don't care. You care by showing. I don't have to tell you I care. I care by showing. And that enhances influence and effectiveness, and that's extremely powerful. Number 4, it attracts and retains talent. And a culture of gratitude helps retain employees and attracts new talent who's looking for a positive work environment. Okay? So the word gets out. Go work for so-and-so. It's a positive place. They actually care for their people. They actually thank their people. They show gratitude toward their people. That attracts people, man. A lot of people say, I have so much problems finding people. We don't have problems finding people anymore. We have problems with so many people applying here anymore that we can't hire them anymore. We used to just say, we need 5 people, and it would take us forever to find 5 people. That's not the case anymore. That's completely changed. Our culture has improved, things have improved, and we've got more applicants lining up at our door than we can comprehend. And that's almost for every position. And then thankful thinking improves mental being. Boy, that's powerful. Practicing gratitude will reduce stress. Practicing gratitude will increase resilience. And practicing gratitude will lead to better decision making and problem solving. Like I said, I coach. A lot of people don't know how to make better decisions or problem solve. I mean, some people don't even know how to hold a company meeting. The question I get a lot is, what do I say? Guys, it's your company. It's your team. It's your family. Come up with 5 bullets to say. Come up with 5 bullets to talk about. Come up with 5 questions to ask. It'll lead to conversation. Your team will like that. They will look up to you for that. It also encourages a positive workplace culture. We talked about that. The culture. We're building a culture. We're improving our culture. Gratitude creates a positive work environment. Get this. It reduces negativity. Our world's full of negativity. Any news you watch, and I don't care what news station it is, it's negative. It's full of negativity. It also increases job satisfaction among your team. They just like working there. There's a new employee. She's only been here 3 months, and she is a rock star. I would have thought she's been here 3 years. She's picked up so fast, it's unreal. And I went up to her the other day, and I said, I've told you this before, but you're killing it, man. You are killing it. And I said, I would think you've been here 3 years. You know what she said? I love it here. That's why. I love it here. I just had to laugh because it's so refreshing. We've had a few that didn't love it here, and they stayed too long. And it brought down the entire department. So it's refreshing when people love it here because it shows on their face. It shows in their work. It shows throughout the company. They stand out. They're rock stars. Number 7, it drives customer loyalty. Boy, who doesn't want loyalty? It's hard to find loyalty today. It drives customer loyalty. Customers feel valued when you thank them. Boy, just a thank you. Thank you. Here's what I used to say. I was out in the field all the time. Here's what I used to say. Here's what I tell people I used to say. Thank you for choosing us. There were 548 other companies you could have chose. Thank you for calling us, choosing us, calling us, using us. Thank you. Thank you for just spending your money with us. Thank you. Boy, we take that for granted. We take that for granted. We take our phone ringing for granted. It used to be, when we were a smaller office, it used to be every time the phone rang, I would yell out before they answered it, opportunity. Opportunity. Because every phone call is an opportunity. Because I'm thankful for every single phone call. And even today, I am thankful for every single phone call. And I've been doing this 34 years. It causes, when you're thankful, it causes repeat business. You know, I was joking about being average on the being average one. I was joking about they need you more than you need them. You need your customer more than they need you. They can choose. They can call anybody else. You can't. Hold on to those customers. Take care of them. Thank them. And lastly, boy, this is important. It cultivates a personal growth. Thankful thinking cultivates personal growth. On a personal level, gratitude could lead to more of a fulfilled and content life. And I'm talking to a lot of business owners out there who need a content, solid life. Because your team knows right now you don't have one, and it's showing in your leadership. So be more thankful. Quit thinking about you. Quit buying the boats and the cars and everything else that goes along with that. And there's nothing wrong with those when you have the right perspective of everything else first. But when they see you buying the boats and they see you not giving them increases, that's a complete turnoff. You don't appreciate them. You're not showing gratitude. It's all about you. Not good, not healthy at all. All this Lamborghini crap that came down the pike lately of these business owners buying them. Get a life. Get a life. Nothing wrong with a Lamborghini. But most of the people who buy one don't need it yet. And they probably financed it anyway. All right, cultivating personal growth also helps you recognize your achievements and valuing others over everything else. That's extremely powerful, folks. That's extremely powerful. I wrote this quote this week thinking about this podcast. Grateful business owners don't just count profits. We make our blessings count, and that's why we lead the pack in success. Because the most successful businesses that I know are run by people who care and who are thankful for their team, their suppliers, and their customers. Grateful business owners don't just count profits, and profits are important. And right now, with these 7 hot days, we're killing it in that area. Thank God. But we make our blessings count. And that's why we lead the pack in success. I don't know. I get frustrated by so many people who say they want to be a success, but they don't want to put any effort towards it. They just want it to come to them one day. One day, I'll own my own business and be successful. No, you won't. One day, you own your own business and go out of business. like a large, very, very, very large portion of people do, because they don't know what it takes to run a business. They don't know what it takes to show gratitude and be thankful. It's all about them. That's why they started the business anyway. The people who started a business to help other people get what they want are the most successful people you'll ever see. The most successful people you'll ever see. And you can define success any way you want, okay? Because they are into it. They are into providing a service. And when you provide a good service, you will prosper all the way to the bank, okay? And it's normally not all about you. So, good stuff, thankful thinking, success strategies for life and business, boosting morale and motivation, strengthening relationships, enhancing leadership qualities, attracting and retaining talent, improve mental being, encouraging a positive workplace culture, and driving customer loyalty and cultivating personal growth. I'm all about personal growth, by the way. I mean, constantly reading and learning, constantly watching podcasts, constantly watching YouTube videos, constantly I'm a sponge. I'm 60 years old and I'm constantly learning, and I never want to stop learning. I constantly want to improve. Someone asked me the other day, I've lost 95 pounds. I'm 5 pounds away from my goal of 100, which I'm going to hit before July 4th. I think today's the 22nd of June. I'm going to hit it before July 4th. And they said, are you going to maintain after this? I said, I don't maintain. I've already got more goals. I'm already growing. It's either growing or die, okay? You either grow or you die. And I'm growing. And I've already got my bucket list, a new bucket list made up. And I can't wait to dive into that. I can't wait to lose these 5 pounds. It's been extremely hard because I've gained I've gained a lot of muscle. And trying to lose fat at the same time is extremely hard because it takes away from your muscle building. So I figured out the best way I know how to do that. And 5 more pounds, I will have done that by July 4th. So hold me accountable. All right. So before we wrap up, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe below. You can also support this podcast by rating and reviewing on iTunes or your preferred listening platform. Don't forget to watch me next week. I'll continue to keep challenging you the best way I can. Also, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram at The Greg McAfee Show. No spaces, no underscores. Thanks for listening. And as always, carry on. God bless. Make this day the best day of your life because we're not promised tomorrow. See you next time.